Hi, this is Kim Pinkney and welcome to my channel. Today I don't have a lot of time because I was trying to struggle with what I wanted to show and what I wanted to do, and debating whether or not I wanted to keep going on this shirt after I put in so much time. This weekend, oh my god, it was cold. At least cold for Florida. So I went out, did some laundry, and was working on other things. And I'll just show you a couple of things that I was working on off camera. This one was a shirt that this is a canvas bag that I started working on when I was doing an Arteza trial, like for about an hour. I had been, trying out the markers, seeing how they worked and stuff like that. And then I just kind of tossed it to the side and started working on other things. I do like the product, so bottom line, I do like the product. It just wears out too fast for me. And there's too many damn greens. But anyway, I went back and I put in some color changing paints. Like I'm using this color changing paint from purple to blue, and I don't see too much of a change. I do kind of see like an iridescent blue on purple, but I went back and I was just in a sparkly type of mood, so I went back and I put on a whole bunch of little gemstones. I bought these from Walmart like a while back, and they were like about maybe $2 or $3 or something like that, and I'm like, I have nothing to put them on, so I'm like, I just went batshit crazy putting on gemstones on stuff. So like this is one of the things that I had done, and I also put in some of the glitter glues and stuff like that on here. And then I found more of my gems that I hadn't done anything with. So there was this one picture that I had that was in progress, but it's like I've started working on it on a bus, and I didn't have any real direction or anything like that on it, and it came out around Halloween. And I took some of my old gemstones and stuff, and I started sticking them on here as well, along with that same color changing purple. I had just poured too much of this purple, this blue purple stuff out onto a palette, and I'm like, you know what, I'm not going to let this go to waste. So I just started putting it all over anything I could find that might fit the purple palette and stuff like that. So I did that with this. And I put it again, like I said, on this one. I had it on the paws. I tried to throw a little bit down beneath the gems to try to get them to reflect off of that, but cheap gems don't do so well. And then I went back to another one of my bags. Oops. The one that didn't seem to, well, hold on a second. One of the experiments I had done with Mod Podge on fabric, and I ended up taking this one right here because I really wasn't doing too much with it, and I had flattened it out a bit, went back through, defined some of the lines so I could see it a lot better, because it just kind of looked a little fuzzy and unfinished. So I had gone back, put in some lines here and just made it more defined. And then I said, you know what, this kind of looks like it would be a great black and white bag. And I'm like, you know what, let's make it silver. So I took some E6000, put some more of these little gemstones on there, and then I found one of my higher end gemstones and stuck that like right here, and it is like crazy sparkly. It's insane how sparkly it is. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm in love with the sparkles. And I'm not a big jewelry wearer, so I guess that kind of got me. But even on, I think even on camera, you can kind of see it kind of sparkle. And this is a, what is this called? One of those Swarovski jewels. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to put it on everything. I want to bedazzle frickin' everything. I get those moods sometimes, I guess. And I just love how this thing sparkles so damn much. It's insane. And I think it's because it's a more higher end crystal that makes it do it. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So anyway, I just added glitter to this thing. Eventually, the loose glitter will fall off. But I kind of envisioned like the swirls to have like this black and silver glitter, or like black on the outside and silver on the swirls, for this particular image. But anyway, that's another thing that you can do, you know, taking some of your images and just bejeweling them and things like that. So anyway, I digress. Let's see. So what I want to do is I want to fix the face on, well, that's why I wasn't on camera. That, and I was trying to make a mold of a face for another project. And I probably will have to try it again. So anyway, again, digressing. I'm going to make her face smaller because right here she looks like she could eat Joker. She's so huge. And first, before I try that, I'm going to use, this is a quilter's pencil. I guess it washes out. Now I just want to be a little bit more strategic on how I put this on here. Because this face is this big and I need to reduce it at least 25%. And so I'm changing a little bit of my tactic here. And where Joker has got the big smile, I'm going to have her be a little bit more serious looking. And then I'm going to have to go over it with white paint probably several times because of previous lines and stuff like that. So I'm just basically making a face. Hopefully it'll turn out pretty. And I'll be able to finish this. And I think, to be honest, this is one of the reasons why I've been kind of hesitating on this. Liking this shirt a lot. It's this this part right here. It just throws it completely off. And I think I've mentioned before that I don't like doing multiple faces too much, because it's like one will turn out really super good, another one will turn out okay, and then if I go for even more, they kind of suck. I don't know. It's like if it's not like really pre-planned, because a lot of this is right off the cuff. And I'll show, for those of you who weren't with me this weekend or this Saturday, I think it was Saturday, when I was working on the Harley shirt. I'll show you what it looks like so far. And I think while I'm on the bus, I'm going to go ahead and add detail to Joker's face, like maybe add some shading and stuff like that. I don't know if I'll mess with the teeth so much. They're so big, if I make one mistake, it'll like really just show. But it won't hurt anything. I can always paint over it, like I am with this side of Poison Ivy. We'll give her nice full lips. Yeah, this all started off with an idea that I wanted to have like a kind of like a glow-in-the-dark type of thing where I've got Harley Quinn, and I was going to do just Harley and her spray painting whatever, but I ended up having her do, you know, like, well, let me show it right now. I have her right here, and I like improvised a bit. Let me move this out the way. And her shirt says "Straight Outta Gotham," and I gotta fix it. And I want to put maybe something else here. Maybe have the shirt kind of be loose or something like that, because right here she looks really super fat. Not fat in a good way either. I'm going to probably make it, her boobs look like they're way down here when they should be a little bit higher up, but you know, to put Straight Outta Gotham on there and whatnot. Anyway, that is something I should have like accounted for. Like I wanted her kind of bending over and getting ready to spray somebody, like hunching over to spray somebody, but she looks like she's straight up and down, so I lost my effect when I did the Straight Outta Gotham. The Straight Outta Gotham should have been curved more on her chest to go with the shape of her body. But anyway, such are the perils of painting too long and not paying attention. And her hat says Ratchet on it in letters. I'm sorry if you can't see it. Anyway, added some colors to the Joker with the color changing paint. Not sure if I like the effect so much. And then I just added some more of that same paint. This is like maybe 3 or 4 layers on this Ha. And I started one layer on this other Ha. But I still can't decide what colors I want to make the alternating patterns on this little Joker symbol. And then what I'm thinking about doing, so that it doesn't look like it's a hard stop right here, is kind of make it look like it's fuzzy, like a spray painting, kind of like this looks kind of fuzzy. And I'll probably put either Mr. J or Joker Bay, and then I was going to put on this side Poison Bay on this one. And then the glow-in-the-dark effect would be like a happy face on the one that she chooses, that she really loves, and pretty much go from there. And an unhappy face and a heart, you know, like a heart around the one that she wants, and an unhappy face on the one that she doesn't choose. So, downside to my glow-in-the-dark paints, when the shirt is painted, I'm not. It's like it takes a lot more, or it could be just my room that I didn't have enough darkness in it to see the effect. See, now this is about the size that I needed. She's not too big. She's almost equal size to Joker, even though she should be a little bit smaller, you know, male-female type of ratio. Okay, so there won't be too much work done on this one, just because I'm almost out of time and I gotta catch a bus. And I confess, I got ready, and then you know how like you zone out a little bit. I was watching YouTube, and I was watching police chases on YouTube. I don't know how half this crap gets onto my stream, as far as you know, things that come to me. Like one day I got stuck on like people popping pimples, and all that would show up were people popping pimples. It was effing insane. It's like, and then it went on to like weird diseases and just nasty crap, you know, like people pulling animals out of their toes and stuff and off their feet, and it's just like, I don't know how. Like one day I don't know, I don't understand this YouTube thing, but one day I had nothing but misogynists, guys that hate women with a passion, and their videos popping up, and I'm like, where the hell did? And then I'm like, you know what? Let me study these fools. You know, study the enemy, I guess you can say. You know, just because I didn't realize there were people out there that were like them. I mean, I knew there were some, you know, guys that didn't like women, but to the extent where women were the enemy, you know, nothing a woman does is right. They're all on the take. And I was like, wow, dog, who hurt you? Who hurt you? And then another day, I had the same kind of thing, but it was like, it was just against black women. And I'm like, hello, YouTube, I'm a black woman. Maybe I don't want to see this stuff. And then it just became fascinating. It's like, I don't understand these people. I don't understand what drives them, how they hurt so bad that they got to make hundreds of videos on belittling black women. And it's insane. And another one that just pops up a lot is this Tommy Sotomayor guy. I was like, wow, this guy, wow, he really hates him some women. And he really hates him some black women. And it reminded me of that guy from, what was it called? Boondocks, where he's all about white people. And, you know, it's just, I forget his name, it's like Uncle something or other. But yeah, I was like, wow. So I guess be careful on what you put in as a, you know, something to watch, things to watch. Okay, now, this pencil is freaking awesome. This is called a quilter's pencil. I bought this many moons ago from Walmart. And it shows up pretty good. And I don't think it was that expensive. It looks like it's a lot better than my Crayolas, you know, using the white Crayola pencil. It's a lot better than, or a lot cheaper. Well, maybe it isn't. I don't know. But I can't find my damn pencils. Of the white, what is that thing called? Not Stadler. I don't think they were Stadlers. Anyway, it'll come to me. When it doesn't matter, I'm at work and I can't do squat. Anyway, okay, I'm going to go ahead and fill up one of my. Oh, here we go. Now this is one of my favorite paints. The only thing is it doesn't have the same kind of. I gotta shake it up a bit. It doesn't have the same kind of coverage as like the white wicker of this type of paint. Let's see. White wicker, it's thick and it covers really well. It's what I used on Joker. I used it on Harley, and it covers the you know, pretty well. Let's see, but I'm out. So now I'm going to have to improvise. I'll have to do multiple coverages with these paints. Let's see. And downside is I'm not that great of a painter. I gotta shake this up just a little bit more and find a container, which is not that hard. I got one right here. Ah! Okay, break it off. Okay, so what I'm using to carry with me are these little dressing containers with lids. I got it at a dollar store, and they seem to stay covered pretty well. So I'm going to just open up this, pour some of this in there, and take the rest with me. I'm only going to pour as much as I think I can use right now. Let's see. And if the face looks kind of fugly, I'm going to go ahead and just paint that whole thing over and just go from there. Let's see. So this will take a while. So I got to remember, don't get on that. Get on these. Okay. I'm not sure if I like the face just yet, but once I get the paint on, I might change my mind. I might just freaking just cover this whole thing and then just improvise after that. But anyway, I was playing with the idea of working on my Naruto jacket. I am more than halfway done with him. I just need to work on that nine-tailed fox that's going to be in the background. And I'll show that before I bug out. And I haven't done any progress on the, what is that one? Oh, My Hero Academia. Short of, I need to add details to All Might to finish up the All Might side. But I'm thinking about putting like stars and stripes and stuff like that on him. And the sleeves look kind of bare, so I'm thinking about putting something on the sleeves too. But still, while I'm doing all that, I need to keep in mind what I want to put on my Soul Eater jacket. I only have the sun and the moon, but I can't decide what I want to put, like, on the front and the back. Like, maybe do I want to do a saying, but, you know, my lettering sucks. So I'd have to really take my time with the lettering. Plan it out, maybe even make a stencil. Okay, so this paint is not so bad. Now that I've got it all shaken up and I'm applying it, it's not too bad. It's covering up some of the black just fine. I probably should have drawn a prettier face. Like a more mature looking Pamela Isley. But yeah, this weekend was definitely wicked cold. I don't know what it was like in your neck of the woods, but I hope it was a little bit warmer than what I was experiencing. And I'm in Florida, so I shouldn't be complaining. Where other people are having, like, in the negatives and stuff, you know. But still, you would think that December would have been the coldest month of the year. January has definitely said, hold my beer, when it came to that. And it's supposed to be cold today, but not raining. I guess there may be a chance of rain. There's definitely a chance of rain tomorrow, and then there'll be like a cold front. And I'm not looking forward to that. But it is what it is. I are dedicated. Also, I'm trying to decide what to do for February as far as a theme. Like, I'm definitely going to participate in Mermay. And I would love to try to figure out what to do for March. Also, update. I had also washed the shirt, the one where people were saying that when they added Mod Podge to their t-shirt, and then I don't know if it's when they pulled it out of the dryer or when they put it out of the washer, that it crumpled up on them so bad that when they pulled it apart, it was just, the shirt was ruined. I had better success, and I can also show that before I leave today too. I was going to make a separate video for that, but I guess no time like the present. It would save me some time, because I show pictures of, or video of me pulling it out of the washer, pulling it out of the dryer, and it was typical of what I would experience with the canvas bags. How now she looks more like a Joker. Where it curls up on itself. But I did something a little different than I did last time. Instead of drying it like immediately on high heat, I dried it on low heat, like on a delicate, and then I moved it up a little, significantly higher after the first 7 minutes. So it's like I started with the low heat and then got bold and tried to do it on a medium heat, and then that was the next 7 minutes, because like each quarter is like 7 minutes. And it varies depending on you know, what you're using to dry it with. Are you using a commercial dryer? Are you using a home, at home dryer? Things like that. Um, yeah, so when I pulled it out, it was folded up on itself, but not as bad as if I went straight on in with high heat. Like when you go right on in with high heat, I don't know if it just does something to the Mod Podge, but it heats it up and then it changes it. Not changes it, but it heats it up and then crumples it up. Like it's changing its form. And I don't know if there's a way to dry it flat other than air drying it. But yeah, but using that, doing it, you know, drying it slowly and gently, I didn't have any problems with it falling apart, coming together. And mind you, I did use triple thick on it at first, you know, to seal it, which didn't make a difference because the shirt still turned color once I put the Mod Podge on. So Mod Podge just definitely discolored the shirt a bit. You know, it made it like a gray instead of keeping it white and drying just clear. And I have like bottles and bottles of old Mod Podge from like doing projects years ago. Anyway, I'll go ahead and show that. All my glitter is still there. Yay. And it might be because I added the Mod Podge on top of the triple thick that made it last a little longer. But really, I don't think that mattered. And I think I still have the Wonder Woman shirt. I haven't done anything to that yet. It's still sitting here behind me. It has no triple thick on it. And I think I'll be able to make it to the laundromat probably this weekend. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead, add more to the Wonder Woman shirt. It's such a cute shirt though. I don't know. Maybe I'll throw more things on it, like on the sleeves and stuff. Just take it with me and do stuff like that. Okay, so once I have the new woman put on here, the new face. Once I have Poison Ivy put on here, and it looks like it's covering really well, this white. So yeah, it's nice to know that I can cover my mistakes. Once I have her on here, I'm going to go ahead and either put her under the fan or use my hot air gun and try to speed this up so I can take this with me. Or I'll leave it here and let it just sit under the fan. Either way, I have to have it dry enough so I can carry it on the bus. And I apologize, I can't see the comments, so if there's anybody who said anything. And they haven't, so that's cool. That's fine. Okay. So. Okay, so I've got a good layer, or first layer here. I'm just going to smooth it out because I don't want any, what's it called? Texture. Try to keep everything going in the same direction. Much better. I mean, the face was just so huge. I was like, man. And the idea I was going to have was put it like brick walls, like put a brick wall here and a brick wall there, and it kind of like has this weird angle. And I'm like, well, a lot of buildings aren't built like that, Kim, so try again. I don't know if I like the angle of this face. I think I wanted her more arched up and looking at in this direction, but it is what it is. Next time, plan it better. A lot of off-the-cuff stuff here. Just trying to make it as smooth as possible. Could take Naruto with me and work on that. So I still got to do more of the base on his leg and his hand. But this is much smaller to carry versus the other one. Oh, decisions, decisions. Okay, luckily this stuff kind of dries fast. Kind of. Okay, these eyebrows are like huge. All right. Okay, so it's 6:23, and I'm going to have to cut this short. Okay, but in the meantime, I'll go ahead and show you what I've got so far with that other shirt, and then I'll go ahead and vamoose. And thank you guys for coming. Okay, really short. All right, so let me see what I got here. Now, again, I don't condone doing the Mod Podge like sealing onto a t-shirt. I don't condone it with only because I don't like how this feels. This feels like it's hard. It feels like plastic. You know, like those shirts where they put a, like when you put it on there, it has like this film and it's hard. Well, I'm going to try washing this several times, but right now it is, the pencil lines are here. I used triple thick. That might have been the mistake, or part of it, or adding to it, to seal the lines. And then I used Mod Podge and added glitter, you know, to it. So glitter, it had no going anywhere, so it is definitely glittered. It needs to be ironed, because you can still see like the little lumps and stuff like that. But you can see that the shirt did not fold up on itself. This stuff, you hear it? This is what you would be wearing against your skin. So that's the only reason why I don't condone the Mod Podge. You know, if I don't want to feel anything that stiff on my boobies. You know what I'm saying? I like my boobs too much to do that to them. Yeah, it's stiff. And that's what Mod Podge does, is it'll seal it, but it'll also be stiff, regardless of if I put the triple thick on there. Usually, when it comes out of the dryer, it's all like crumpled and stuck together, kind of like that. That's what happens when it's on the heat that's too hot. But you have to pull it apart gently if you can. And it pretty much does it to itself. And you know, your work is still there. So if you really want to get your work on your fabric and stuff like that, cool, go for it if that's what you want. But the downside is that it's stiff. You hear that? That's what would be on your chest. So I'm going to wash this a couple times to see if this goes away, and then I'll just dry it on either the lighter, you know, the lighter heat, the lower heat, and it'll stay just fine. It's just that I want to see if the stiffness will go away. Okay, so yeah, you can do it onto a shirt. Just when you do it on a low heat when you dry it. Okay, gentle or delicate heat, or no heat, low heat or no heat, because it's the heat, I think, that makes it crumple. Okay, so those of you who are a little upset with me, because I should have been more specific that I was using this technique on something that wouldn't go against my skin, but it's here, and if you want to wear your artwork with the pencil lines, you can do that. But I highly suggest using fabric markers, using markers because the fabric markers are not, you know, it's into the fabric. It doesn't have the texture like paints, and like paints I don't mind wearing on a jacket, because, you know, you've got that inner lining and things like that. It's a lot thicker and it can hold it. But on a shirt, I prefer the the fabric markers over paints. And if I do use paints, you know, I try not to use them too thickly, because after a while they'll finally soften a bit, but it'll still have a texture. It'll still be, you know, kind of stiff. But anyway, yeah. So this is the shirt. It did not crumple up on itself, and I'll have a separate video that shows the same thing. So again, thanks again for watching, and if you'd like to learn more, like and subscribe. If you don't mind having that stiffness in there, definitely just go for it. Okay, because you could also trace your image onto here, seal it with Mod Podge just when you dry it. Make sure you have it on low heat, no heat, whatever, or let it air dry. Okay, and you won't have to muddle through trying to pull it apart off of itself. All right, you guys, I'll catch you later, and bye-bye.